All right, you guys. My name is Eric Christensen. I'm the owner of Chandler Physical Therapy, if you didn't already know that. I am here with Gabriella, and we're going to talk about a few things that we saw over the weekend. I don't know if you guys watched the Masters, but Jason Day, one of the golfers, got kind of raked over the coals for his justification of one of his warm-ups, which he described as blowing up a balloon. And the online community kind of ripped him a new one for a couple different reasons, but one of it was the reasoning behind it, that things don't go out, and that's a discussion for a different day. But they also questioned kind of the validity of the treatment itself, and this is something we use pretty much every single day here at Chandler Physical Therapy, and I wanted to jump into maybe why we do it. So we have Gabriella here, our lovely student from Chapman University, and we are going to have her run a few things. But when we're looking at the value of blowing up a balloon, it can help many, many different things, because it kind of sets the core unit back to kind of active, normal tone, which helps everything else move. And so when we're looking at Gabriella's hip motion through here, when I'm rotating her here, I'm going to see if we can get it, right there it stops and her hip kind of starts to lift a little bit. And so that's the limit of where her hip wants to move before her pelvis starts. And when we also look at her shoulder here, when we're rotating here, I might drop that off a little bit, when we're bringing it here, right there, we can kind of start to see where that shoulder starts to pop up. And so that's the limit of what the shoulder joint wants to do. And a lot of times, those restrictions are because the rib cage isn't moving as effectively as it is because breathing patterns have changed. And so balloon breathing is a way to reset those breathing patterns. And if you weren't aware of it, I did write a book on it. I'm very passionate about this stuff. And so Gabriella is going to jump into some balloon breathing patterns and see if we can't change those relatively quickly. So if we wouldn't mind, let's do like 3 breaths in and maybe like do 2 cycles of that. Okay? And so what she's doing, go ahead and bend these. She's going to be breathing in through her nose, out through her mouth, into the balloon, and she's going to be blowing up the balloon. Her goal is to get all her air out into the balloon, and we're going to do 3 breaths into the balloon. She's going to let it out, and then we're going to do 1 more cycle like that. And so when I'm looking for this, as she's blowing in, we're looking for the ribs to start dropping down right to about there. She's going to pause for a second or two. We're going to breathe in again. Then she's going to pause again. And then breathe in again. And then we can let all that air out. It's going to be nice and noisy. And then we are going to do 1 more cycle like that, if you wouldn't mind. And so when we go to look again at this, can we drop that one flat? We're going to see if we made any changes. And when we're looking right through there, we can go all the way to there before that hip starts to hike. So we made some nice gains there. And then let's take a look at the shoulder, see if we made any changes to that. And when we're dropping that down through there, right about there, that wants to start popping up. So in a relatively short amount of time, we can make some pretty profound changes in range of motion. And it's really not because the joint changed that much, but it's because we changed the breathing patterns. And when we look at the breathing patterns and how things are moving, if the thoracic spine is not moving well, then everything else isn't going to move well on it. And so the balloon breathing is going to help that move well, decrease tone in some of these postural muscles so that other muscles have a better opportunity to move. So it can help things with neck pain, it can help with shoulder pain, hip pain, low back pain. So if you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot the comments below. If you've tried it, I'd love you to say that you've tried it in the comments below. And if you were wondering if maybe this is a good technique for you, we do offer discovery visits. So you can pop in, talk to somebody for 30 minutes and see if it's a good route for you to take. So if you guys have any questions, let us know.